Hello, Cocktails Miami 305. It is great to present our analysis and recommendations about your company to you. So we are Prestige Hospitality Solutions, PHS. I'm the president, Gabriela Marinich.
Hi guys, my name is Jackson Seagrave.
I'm Connor Pottle and I'm the strategy manager.
Hi, I'm Chris O'Connor. I'm the engagement manager.
I'm Liam White and I'm the business analyst.
I'm Joao Barbosa and I'm the legal counselor.
So when it comes to our values, we have a mission statement and a vision statement. Our mission statement is that we aim to add clients in developing their dreams into reality by providing expert analysis so they can enter the correct market with the correct product marketed to the correct consumer. Our vision statement is pioneering excellence in the hospitality industry. Our vision is to elevate businesses through innovative strategies, impeccable service standards, and a commitment to fostering memorable guest experiences worldwide.
So a little bit of what we'll cover today. We'll start off with the company, move into key issues, the general environmental analysis, the SWOT analysis, strategic alternatives, our recommended course of action, and finally, the conclusion to wrap us all up.
So just taking a look at the company, first of all, there are general services that are offered, which is very clear on their website. It's the catering and their mobile bars and their mixology classes. The catering and mobile bars is a mobile cocktail bar service that can cater events, large and small. However, Miami Cocktails 305 specifically likes to work in high volume events, as that is their expertise and they have a lot of experience in it. And then alongside this, they have their mixology classes, which are interactive workshops that actually come directly to you. So it takes any of the difficulty of finding the classes and getting to it based on your location. It comes to you, and they go over basic bartending topics. You do hands-on interactive work with it, and teaches you as well the safety of alcohol awareness and consumption. So where is it located? In Miami, which is seen by our company as the perfect location. It is a top destination spot in the United States and the world. It attracts all walks of life and has a huge customer base and is ranked among the most desired vacation destinations and has a bustling hub of culture and entertainment, a perfect melting pot of people for the company to grow in. And social culture in Miami is incredibly important, which Cocktails Miami 305's business model perfectly aligns with the spirited and lively social and nightlife culture of Miami. And according to timeout.com, Miami has the second highest score for nightlife in the world, only just behind Dubai, which of course would be incredibly important for an alcohol serving company. So what makes them different? This is probably their biggest competitive advantage would be their differentiation. And the three things that stand out the most would be their original spins on classic cocktails, brand new concoctions that they make, and high volume event experiences. So their experience in high volume events is incredibly important, as those are high pressure situations, which a lot of companies won't want to deal with. They'll want to do more private and controlled situations. But Cocktails Miami 305 offers this, which is a great competitive advantage for them. And then their spins on classic cocktails and their brand new concoctions is what separates them. As in the alcohol industry, specifically with just making cocktails and drinks, it can get very similar between company to company. At the end of the day, you are just making a drink, especially if it's a classic one, it'll be made the same way. However, Cocktails Miami 305 is meticulous with their balance of ingredients, and they make sure every drink is perfectly balanced and perfectly tasting. So on just to a few key issues. Of course, there's many topics that we're going to cover over the length of the presentation. However, these are just some key ones. So on to the mission and vision statements. So what's the importance of a mission and a vision statement? They're pivotal to a company's culture and success, crucial to have the whole company aligned on specific ideas and goals, and helps guide decision-making from top to bottom. And the issue, Cocktails Miami 305 has neither of these. So go back one. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so PHS has developed two mission statements, a mission statement and a vision statement for Cocktails Miami 305. And so the mission statement we've come up with is cultivating the spirit of Miami. Our mission is to bring expertise, creativity, and passion to every event we cater to. Through reinventing classic cocktails and creating brand new ones, we strive to create unique and excellent experiences. And by offering exceptional service and delicious taste, we'll exceed customer expectations and leave only positive memories. So this, we feel that this mission statement really encapsulates what Cocktails Miami is really about, in that they bring all these things together, such as their creativity and expertise, and their, like I said earlier, their meticulously driven ingredient balancing into their tastes, and they drive this, and that's what's going to drive their company to their goals. And their vision statement be to be the premier provider of cocktail catering services in Miami, whilst leaving a lasting impression and fostering joy for every client and guest we serve. So that can just be summed up into that they want to be the best, but most importantly, they want to have the best reviews and people just loving what they do at the end of the day. So regulations, licensing, insurance are all incredibly important things for any company working with alcohol. So in the alcohol industry, regulations are continuously shifting. Companies must stay up to date with them and abide by them as not to suffer any consequences. And licensing and insurance, Cocktails Miami 305 is currently licensed and insured to the most up to date for alcohol. However, licensing can change similarly to regulations, and not having proper insurance will deter clients from wanting to work with the company, as that leaves them susceptible to risks and consequences, and can leave the company susceptible to. And failing to act properly under current regulations or failing to uphold the proper licensing can create drastic issues for any company within this industry. And finally, safety and liability. Again, working in the alcohol industry is incredibly important to hold the safety and liability and health of your customers to the highest degree. With alcohol involved, ensuring the health and safety of customers is becoming crucially important to a company's success, as almost any reports I get out of this not happening will drastically change the course of the company's growth. Employees specifically must be vigilant, smart, and constantly focused on their guests and their hygiene. With training, employee training for always maintaining high standards of cleanliness and hygiene is an incredibly important factor that Cocktails Miami needs to implement. Adhering to health and safety guidelines and never faltering on that, whether it's the guidelines of the company or the guidelines of the event, because those can change, and appropriately monitoring guests and limiting overconsumption. Failure to ensure the safety of customers and assuming liability of negative outcomes would be dire for any company in the alcohol industry.
So next up is the general environmental analysis. I thought it was best to break this down with a pestle analysis, which I will head into now. So bear with me. There's 6 different topics to cover in the pestle analysis, so this will be a little bit on the longer side. We'll start out with the political. So businesses in this industry face some of the licensing regulations that Liam just covered, but they must be complete and correct before assuming normal business operations. It might take some time to get this done, and while that might seem like a disadvantage, it also makes it harder for new competitors to enter the markets right away, so it's not totally a bad thing. This must be done for all areas the businesses plans to serve. So right now, Cocktails Miami obviously serves Miami, but any other municipalities that they want to go into, they have to also get licensed there. Those licenses are paid and extended yearly, and a lot of documentation is needed to apply, like social security, fingerprinting, arrest history, company ID number, tax documents, etc. Government policies are always changing as well, so keeping an eye on the alcohol regulations, the health and safety laws, the tax policies, like I was saying, and keeping a close legal expert around the business will make this much easier. And trade policies as well are important, just because some of the beverages and ingredients that the company decides to source, if they're global, then you might have some extra tariffs to import those in. So, sourcing those nationally might be easier and the best bet for the business. Moving into economic, I think consumer spending is probably the largest variable to look at and understand. In times of distress, like we've seen a little bit recently with high inflation and somewhat lower spending, event hosting and outsourcing for beverage catering might take a little bit of a hit. On the other end of the spectrum, however, we, in our opinion, think this market can stay somewhat strong because corporate events, weddings, birthdays, they will happen forever. And a staple like alcohol catering will definitely need to be provided. The cost of ingredients is also an always changing environment and can jump in price quickly depending on the cost to create, package, and ship those resources out. Even costs like travel and setup can also fluctuate. And when these cost more, the services cost more, and that translates directly onto the consumer. Third up are the social factors. Mostly the business needs to consider consumer preferences and cultural trends in the area. Consumers all around the country and even South Florida are looking at healthier and healthier options for every meal and gathering they attend. Alcohol is one of those things that's been that staple, but maybe people like to see drinks that are lower in calories and maybe even less sugar from behind the bar, like we see in some of the manufactured beverage industry. And on the other hand, some consumers are starting to enjoy drinks that have no alcohol at all. Some of these consumers are diving into the world of CBD drinks that can give them that same social buzz, but it's a completely different product. In our opinion, this market has many years to fully materialize, but it's something to consider along the horizon. Fourth up is the technological side. There are some factors to consider in this industry, even if it doesn't seem like it. Digital marketing is the way so many smaller businesses are growing and retaining customers these days. While traditional marketing strategies still can be useful, word of mouth and digital marketing it's the best in today's world. Making sure that the business uses social media, search engine, location-based, and video ads can help take it to the next level. Also, advancements in online booking services can create a much easier and streamlined process for booking events. And we think the companies who can adapt to this change will see happier customers and more bookings. Fifth up is the environmental side. And this is also affecting the industry a lot. Sustainability is a huge area that can separate Cocktails Miami by ensuring the products being served are sourced ethically and are trusted, but also all the other products that are brought, like the cups, straws, napkins. Make sure that those are compostable, recyclable, and disposed all in the safest way. Even smaller elements like the energy from moving equipment, transportation needs can just be a way to show the consumers you're environmentally focused. And then another big one in South Florida is the weather and environment. Paying attention to extreme weather events that happen all the time here that can lead to cancellations or some events being postponed. Those stretches of time can mean no revenue coming in for the business. So make sure that all your customers are taken care of in the events that some extreme weather does happen. And to finish off this pestle analysis, the legal side, having proper checks in place for the health and safety policies is important just to make sure that guests being served can always enjoy their time and it lessens risk. Being sued for something that goes wrong at the hand of the business can mean going out of business for good and losing those licenses that you work so hard to get. Having some risk management like liability insurance is also a good way to make sure you can survive in a sudden time of hardship. And then finally, having up-to-date contracts and the right documentation will make sure nothing bad ever happens with venues, your suppliers, and the customers. So essentially, you just cover all of your bases.
I will now be doing a SWOT analysis of the company. So I'll be discussing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of Cocktails Miami 305. So Cocktails Miami 305 has multiple internal strengths and weaknesses present, as well as various external threats and opportunities. To begin, a vital strength of Miami Cocktails is the fact that the company offers a large variety of services, therefore enabling them to reach a larger target audience and add more value to their company. In addition, the company provides customers with the ability for customization and personalization, where there are multiple options present under each type of service they offer. Each option has a different price point, so consumers that have specific budgets are able to choose the best service that fulfills their desires the best. Another strength that is present is that the company truly focuses on the customer experience, where they aim to deliver the best customer satisfaction possible through the presentation of drinks, interactive demonstrations, and cocktail making classes with personalized assistance. On the other hand, there are various weaknesses of the company, starting with the reliance on customer-specific needs for such services. The services offered by Cocktails Miami 305 are tailored to certain needs, and the company really depends on bookings to generate revenue. Moreover, the staffing and training of employees, such as bartenders and mixologists, may be difficult, as there are many skills that are required for the job that many people don't just randomly have. It is crucial to train employees to provide customers with the high-quality service and high-quality cocktails to keep their experience positive. Another internal weakness present is the possibility of high operational costs. There may be many costs associated with providing such services, such as purchasing the ingredients like the alcohol and other items, maintaining equipment, compensating employees, transporting all of the mobile bars and other appliances and items, and licensing fees. Although there are preventative measures that the company can take to combat internal weaknesses, there are still external threats that are present in the competitive environment. The largest threat may be the presence of other cocktail services that are viewed as the main competitors of the company. There are multiple companies that provide the same or similar services in the same area that Cocktails Miami 305 operates in. Local venues, bars, or clubs may also be threats to business, as consumers may use such locations and the internal bars and bartenders that are already present there, so they would not need to hire an outside vendor. Similarly, mixology teaching companies and professionals that run in the same area as the company are also competing in the same market. Another significant threat present is the liabilities that are associated with serving alcohol, which we mentioned before. There are many legal risks associated with such a service, such as the liabilities that stem from intoxicated customers and injuries that can result from overconsumption. Another legal risk present is the fact that underage minors may try to consume alcohol or use a fake ID or take alcohol from somebody that is of age. So it's important to make sure that the company is following such rules and regulations in place. Another external threat is regulatory changes, where there may be changes in alcohol licensing, restrictions related to mobile bar services, marketing strategies, and health regulations that can require changes within the company. However, despite the threat of the external factors, the company does have many opportunities to leverage external factors to their advantage that may lead to growth, improvement, and expansion. Cocktails Miami 305 has the opportunity to increase the amount of services that they provide to be able to cater to even more customers. There can also be a growth in popularity of the services provided because there is a growth in popularity of mixology culture and the desire for craft cocktails. Cocktails Miami 305 has the opportunity to exhibit their ability to create unique and high quality cocktails. Lastly, Cocktails Miami 305 may work to exclusively partner with specific brands or breweries, which could lead to more exposure and a new realm of customers that prefer certain liquor companies over others. Despite the present weaknesses and threats, Cocktails Miami 305 has many strengths and opportunities that are able to give them a competitive advantage to be successful in the industry.
So after evaluating the SWOT analysis, some strategic alternatives were made. There were 4 options created, so we will go through them one by one with some pros and cons listed for each. The first option would be increasing and diversifying the services offered, as Gabby mentioned above. This would eventually increase revenue by reaching new audiences and targeting different demographics. This would allow the company to potentially provide services at different and more levels. If they were to expand the range of services to greater lengths than they currently do, they could dive into different market segments and capture a greater revenue. However, this would have to be heavily considered due to the inevitable additional costs associated with expanding and diversifying. These costs could be new licenses, new regulations that would need to be considered, training employees to a larger extent, and marketing fees. Lastly, it could harm the company's mission and vision if they were to broaden the services provided. The second option could include partnering with various brands, stadiums, events, and more. This would increase exposure and foot traffic. The targeted demographic would most likely increase as customers of these brands or locations would at least set their eyes on Cocktails Miami or walk by them at least once. Credibility of the company would also increase if they were to partner with more established brands. Creating these partnerships can also produce a slight competitive advantage over other similar companies. However, creating these partnerships and gaining trust from other brands may be time-consuming and costly. It also may be riskier to depend on other companies to grow their own business. The feedback from those at the scene would be necessary. A third option could include some or all of the following: increasing the budget for marketing, branding, and partnerships, and/or focusing more on training and development, and/or adapting or getting ahead of any licensing or regulatory changes. Marketing to more people more effectively would surely increase the brand's recognition. It would attract new customers and generate more revenue down the line. Social media advertising would be very beneficial for this company. However, this process could also be costly and could not pay off for months or even years. Training and developing employees is perhaps the most important element of this business. Customer service and employee expertise is necessary to run a successful business in the cocktail industry. A comprehensive training program would better the customer service received and eventually increase retention rates. This would align with the company's mission and vision statements too. However, training programs do take up a lot of time and can cost a lot if the employees are getting paid to do it. If there are high turnover rates, this would also be lethal. Lastly, having the correct licenses and certifications is key to growing the brand. Cocktails Miami cannot fall behind in this aspect, as doing so will seriously hurt the services they are able to provide. Sometimes alcohol and public licensing can change, so staying on top of this is a must. It will mitigate legal risks and liabilities. and save the company money in the future. However, this may require frequent checking and updating of licenses and more. This could take away some productivity and increase costs. A fourth and final option would be laying out a potential market segment the company wants to target and devote its time and resources to. For example, this could be weddings, formal parties, sports events, corporate events, or more. If they were to do this, they could project its services provided to the segment very easily. For weddings, for example, maybe they have a more champagne and luxury service provided. This would save costs in marketing, training and developing, and more. However, cutting down customer segments could decrease potential customers reached and potential revenue generated. These four strategic alternatives could provide Cocktails Miami many different opportunities and challenges ahead. Each provides pros and cons and should be carefully considered moving forward. The firm should evaluate these options based on a number of internal factors. Finally, a combination of these strategies may be the most useful and appropriate approach for the future success of the company.
So we feel that increasing and diversifying the service being offered by the company is the best and most effective strategy to take when increasing the future success of the company and increasing the size of the company compared to others. Taking this course of action will reach new audiences, maximize the general amount of consumers that the company can reach. By broadening the horizons, not only can you increase the customer base, you can increase your revenue and sales as well. Expansion of the company can also reduce the threat of competition due to the increasing size of the company and not being tied down to a single market in just for a given service. Another positive of the expansion of the company is when you dive into new markets and your company name will be pushed out to a greater extent, which will then make it more recognizable in the local community and social media. However, in order to complete the intended expansion, it will obviously cost money, time, and additional training in order to execute this in a proper manner. We will need to hire additional workers and make sure every worker will meet this adequate training threshold to execute this properly. There will also probably need to be additional licenses needing to be obtained. There could be potential new marketing fees and additional costs that need to be covered. In order to not harm the mission and vision statement of the company, you'll need to maintain the quality of the products and services that will be done in an efficient and proper manner. And then this could be the best. It will provide great benefits but there will also be additional costs and measures need to be taken to execute this properly.
In conclusion, increasing and diversifying the services will successfully attain a large number of new customers and eliminate potential competition. By offering more services, we're better able to reach a broader audience, which hopefully become customers. Expanding the services would also give a better brand recognition, as our name would be on more events and more people would see it. Therefore, that would increase the customer's level of trust. That being said, it must be done correctly. You have to ensure that there's proper training and enough employees to carry out the new set of services and not try to burden the ones you currently have.